Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to the Core Racing Network as we had last week off for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs, but we are back and back at it at the place where we absolutely love to be, one of the tracks that is certainly a favorite for us up here in the booth, and I know for a lot of drivers out there as well, as it provides some great just multi-groove racing here. The beautiful Michigan International Speedway playing host tonight. 70 laps are going to be on tap for these drivers here in race number 11 in the regular season. So that means we're starting the countdown here towards the playoffs, as we got only 15 races in the regular season. So tonight plus 4 more and we'll be heading to the playoffs. So it's time to start making your move if you haven't done so already. Carl Hammer joining the booth by Jimmy Cober. Jimmy, we are at just a beautifully fun little track here. Well, not even really little, 2 miles. The oval, just, it's great out here at Michigan.
One of my favorite tracks. When this track, when I got to when I was used to, I wasn't in the league, and this track came up. I was probably one of the happiest drivers out there. I mean, this track is just a lot of fun to race. Multiple lines. Draft does work, but you can have a driver run away by themselves. So it's there's some strategy to the track. You know, I was going to make sure you take care of them tires. Pit entry is fast, so you got to make sure you nail that, because you can lose a lot of time on the track. The way these drivers have been driving lately, a lot of green flag runs. So you know, it could be the make or break moment. I'm seeing a lot of not newer names, but names here in the series here tonight. I'm noticing a couple friendly faces out there of the
Ryan variety. Yeah,
the Ryan variety.
Yeah, we got Tommy and Jeff out here tonight.
Yeah, I see Tommy and Jeff out there, and welcome back, Tater Bowman. I know he's been out for a while, and he decided to come back, so it's good to have friends back out on the track. So good that everybody's there. Also want to wish the other drivers that may not be here, maybe competing in some other series, wish them the best of luck over there with the college boys, the UNOH guys. So wish they were here as well, but hopefully they do well in the participation in the league that they're finishing up here tonight.
Yeah, we got a couple drivers running the college race tonight for iRacing. Tyler Skozen's out there, James Scioli also in the race as well. But this is gonna be a fun one here tonight. Again, 70 laps are on tap. We'll take a look at the standings coming in, as the last time we ran a couple weeks ago, it was Alan Elwood going back to back for the second time this season. So he grabbed his 4th win on the season and clears ahead by 41 points over Clayton Montgomery. Then you got Nico Garcia for the top 3 overall, and in the platinum. In the gold, AJ Roderick leads the way by 31 over Justin Muntz, who came home with a 2nd place out there in Vegas. Jack Stoneman in 3rd. In the silver, it is Justin Kirby, who looks like, I believe he is back in attendance here tonight. He is indeed out here in attendance. So the points leader for the silver back out here, Aiden Hines, Blake Erickson for the top 3, and then in the bronze, Joey Cruz. Not allowed to qualify here tonight, so he's going to have to come from the back, but he's got still a slight margin over Dan Phelps, 4 points heading into tonight. John Crane back there in 3rd place in the bronze. But Jimmy, we're all set for the starting order here tonight. Why don't you give us that rundown?
A rundown of the starting order here tonight will be Alan Elwood on the pole there, as the drivers are saying, grip packs. he's just a fast feller out there. Nico Garcia will be on the outside in position number 2. Then Shane Therian and Justin Munsell for your 2nd row. Justin Kirby returns in his place of his number 43 on row number 3 with Clayton Montgomery. Tommy Ryan on P number 7. Andrew White in P number 8. Blake Erickson in 9th, AJ Roderick's in 10th, Joe Sullivan up there in 11th, Bronson Stafford in 12th, then Jeff Ryan and Dan Phelps in row number 7, John Van Westen and Tyler Bramble back on row number 8, Louis Arduna and Jeremy Gainey back there in row number 9. Row number 10 is going to be John Crane and Matt Crockett, Kevin Foster, Davey Hendricks back there in row number 11, Joey Cruz and Robert Kenny back there in row number 12, and then Dalen Drummond and Tater Bowman to bring up the rear. So No, I was talking to, obviously when you're out there and you've been gone for a while, especially I was talking with Tater, just his goal is just, I want to get out there, get my feet wet, get back to racing again. He's going to start from the rear and bring it in. So I did see him disconnect. So hopefully he's able to tackle those internet gremlins and get back out here and get back on the track. I haven't seen a return just yet, but they are off and green as Alan Elwood leads the pack down to turn number 1.
Good start from the field, and this is a track again that you see how wide it is. You can take so many different lines through this corner. Usually, knock on wood, the restarts aren't too bad, and you can really kind of get settled in there and get into your lines, get your preferred running areas there as the field already heads off into turn number 3. Good start from the field here in the Core Xfinity Series, presented by Elwood Designs. Alan Elwood at the front of the field. Shane Theory and Nico Garcia are going to complete lap number 1 as your top 3. Justin Munsell, Clayton Montgomery for the top 5. But either way, a good start from everyone here in the field. A nice 26-car field out here tonight. So good to see everyone out there. Unfortunately, it looks like Tater Bowman still having those issues, still not in the field. Currently showing as 2 laps down. We got 25 cars out there. I know another fan favorite out there, Kevin Foster, starting back there in 25th. At least he's out there in the field, and you never count the number 8 out there. But good to see quite a few of these faces coming back here tonight. We missed them in the series, and we'll see if the Ryans enjoy themselves here tonight. Tommy Ryan and Jeff Ryan. We certainly, for those that are loyal members here at CRN, remember them from UCRL when we covered them on Tuesday nights. So they're looking for something to do on Tuesday nights here tonight, and Tommy messaged me earlier and made a typo and asked if he could ruin tonight, and I said no, but you can run. So they are in the field here tonight. We'll see what they can do out there running in 12th and 13th right now, but everyone once again looking at the back bumper of that number 5, Alan Elwood. We are going to be looking at our first caution of the night, and oh man, it looks like it involves the 43 of Justin Kirby. We'll take a look and see exactly what brought this one out.
Yeah, I'm going to the radio, and I'm obviously immediately apologize, but just getting in that back end and losing control there, getting up in the wall, and yeah, just some bad luck there by that number 43. He's, obviously took a week off and came back and still leading the points, and just tough break there, and he'll be able to come down and get that car fixed, but it's not what you want to do early on and having to get her fixed. But it also looks like Tater Bowman's returned, so hopefully he can work and get that car back on the track here. So yeah, some good things. For 4 laps in the books right now. Alan Elwood out front over Shane Theory and Nico Garcia, Justin Munsell, Clayton Montgomery for your top 5.
And real interesting here, Jimmy. 4 laps into the race, already seeing pretty much the entire field coming down onto pit road. Just a couple of drivers staying out. John Crane stays out. Luis Orduna stays out. But everyone else coming into pit lane, and I gotta imagine this is not for tires. This is just a quick little top off on fuel, but even still, I mean, only on lap number 4 here. Pretty interesting to see entire field deeming it's time to come in and at least get a little bit of fuel service. And did see a couple cars look like maybe taking a couple of tires while they were in there, but either way, leading the charge off the field. Yeah, I would think so. It's Alan Elwood is going to be leading off the pit lane, but leading the field right now is John Crane and Luis Orduna. So we'll see if they come in this time by and maybe just one to try and stop there, get a quick little lap led. But again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. If you haven't done so, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. If you're looking for leagues to join, we got plenty of good ones here on CRN. We had a couple that we run that aren't covered by CRN, but I mean, anything and everything that we pretty much have our hands into, whether it's short track racing, like we have a mini stock series on Monday nights. If you're looking for the oval series, obviously right here, the Core Xfinity series. And we also cover on Thursday nights, we have the virtual velocity racing as they run the ARCA cars. And then on Wednesday nights, we have the CSRL GT3 Series and then the GT Series for Core on Thursday nights. So you want road, you want oval, you want short tracks. We get a little bit of everything here within Core or within the CRN family here. But looks like we will have John Crane and Luis Orduna starting out front here. A couple of drivers coming back down and topping off a little bit more. Looks like Shane Therian, Justin Munsell giving up some good track position as they come back in. Kevin Foster, Joe Sullivan also back there topping off on fuel, as is Justin Kirby, probably trying to get a little bit more repaired back there on the 43, but looks like he's nice and clean, so I'm not sure if that was a really good job by his crew or if he decided to take that fast repair right away. Either way, it's going to be the number 11 here with a, looks like a new paint scheme there, a new red, white, and blue tracker paint scheme on that number 11, and it's got him at the front right now. Restart doing that. I'm going to join him on the outside for this restart. No problems here.
Taking care of some admin stuff, just technical difficulty there, hot mics and stuff. So just clearing up some stuff. That's a lot of drivers are too busy being able to type. So yeah, just let them know. But anyways, things are back to normal, and we are good to go here on lap 6, 2 wide, and it looks like it's going to be John Crane and Luis Orduna out front. There's other stuff for a little bit out front, so all these drivers are, you know, obviously these are two drivers that run towards the middle of the pack, so some of these top of the leaderboard drivers need to, you know, just be patient, but we'll see how they manage and see if they can hold their own here to restart the race for the second time on lap number 6.
Green.
The Geico restart zone, and Crane is on the loud pedal. We're racing again here at Michigan, and yeah, right away it looked like a little bit of a bunch up on the outside lane there with Luis Orduna getting off a little bit slow. Holds up Nico Garcia. Alan Elwood able to clear from third place. Now he moves into second. Slides up the track and already using that middle lane. Try and get a good run off the corner. Crane a little bit wobbly on the bottom. The 5 of Elwood going to drive right on by. We take a look back behind. Clayton Montgomery moves himself into fourth place. And now already Nico Garcia moves himself up into second on the inside of Crane. Montgomery trying to make that move as well. But I mean, either way, I don't mind the call there by Crane and Orduna, just to kind of get up there, mix it up with the boys, get some laps at the front. And you never know, you know, a quick caution comes out, and all of a sudden you're on the good foot being up there at the front, and it really shifts everything around. But right now it is Elwood, Garcia, Montgomery, Orduna, and Crane for the top 5. Then you got Erickson, Roderick, Stafford, Ryan, Tommy Ryan that is, and Dan Phelps for the top 10.
It's you obviously used to seeing the Ryan up front, especially Tommy. Very smooth and consistent there in the 99, so it's good to see that machine back out on track here. And you know, he's one of those drivers that just very methodically works his way through the field. So
issues here for Josh Van Weston. We're going to stay green. Let's take a look and see what exactly happened here. I think yeah, it just came right down. Some net code involved there with Justin Munsell. Big contact there with Munsell. And how that's not a caution, I have no idea. I would love to see what the iRacing parameters are for a caution, because I mean that he slid up across the track, he slid over in front of other cars, and multiple cars were involved. Like, what am I missing? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. But either way, we will stay green, and Van Weston rejoins here, but he's certainly a good distance back behind this field right now, as Alan Elwood leads the way, Nico Garcia in second right behind him.
Yeah, and I mean, just a short story and from this weekend. So I decided to venture out on an oval short track in the trucks at Martinsville.
Don't even say the name. Don't even say the name. I will kick you from this broadcast booth. I already know where it's going. I don't like it, Jimmy. I don't even like that word being up here.
60-lap race, 11 cautions, 20 green flag race, laps. That's it. So definitely it was very interesting. Yeah, I was trying to tell myself, like, I used to enjoy this, and I just don't know how it's fun. That's what I was telling myself at the end, but I was telling some of the people that were in chat. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting adventure. I don't know why I did it. Maybe many lane, but didn't really enjoy it. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see myself back in the trucks again, but maybe this time on a super speedway. And we know how eventful those races can be. So, but definitely some of these drivers having some of that luck here, just a little bit. That net code, you know, bringing out the cautions. It's you know, it's still something that kind of plagues the things. I haven't seen many people blink in this league here. In this series, occasionally you might catch somebody blink once in a while, but everybody here seems to have a pretty decent connection. That's why a little shock there with, you know, obviously Tater having some internet issues, but hey, crazy weather everywhere, and you know, just, you know, at this point maybe he just was like, well, maybe I can't get back in and get back out there, but so hopefully he joins us out there, at least out there in the audience here for seeing another incident occurs. Another loose Arduino involved, along with a few others, as this time the caution will fly here on lap 13.
Yeah, this was a big incident right here, and it involved quite a few cars. We'll try and take a look back and see what happened here. You see Arduino already a little bit loose. Ericsson helps him around, some big impact right there. But coming down across the track, you see right there, Jeff Ryan getting involved in a big way. And I think he got tagged a little bit coming into that incident. We'll try and take a look here with Jeff Ryan. And yeah, it looked like even a little bit of netcode right there as well, from across the front of Dan Phelps, but hard impact right there. Luis Arduino, you see that car is completely mangled up. The 11 of John Crane. So both the guys that I applauded them for staying out, they both get caught up in some issues right here. And really, I can't say it's because they stayed out, because nobody really took tires coming into the pits on that first pit stop. So it's not like they were out there with older tires than anybody else. It's just caught up with a little bit of a loose car coming off the corner, and it caused quite a big one here at Michigan. But we'll get you back live here. We'll see if there's any takers this time coming out of pit road. I would assume probably the same thing, Jimmy, just another caution. Doesn't matter if it's 2 laps later, bring them on down here and get some fuel and try and figure out how this strategy is going to play out the rest of the race.
Well, it's a caution. AJ Roderick will come in and get fuel.
Absolutely.
Whatever the strategy is. Freebie. Don't need to worry about that. I'll just fall in line, take my fuel, and the tires or whatever it may be, but no tires. But the thing is, with these drivers coming in so often just to catch fuel, a lot of drivers do run, like, you know, where, like, if you come into pits and then you leave, it automatically checks your box to take tires. You can accidentally take tires here and put yourself in a pretty sticky predicament here later in the race. Obviously, we're still early on, still 55 laps remaining here at Michigan, and the bigger track being a little hard to tame here is obviously drivers trying to find that fine line on power and grip on some of these corners. Obviously, netcode being involved in one of them, but definitely there's so much room on the track, and there's so many different racing lines, so it's really just all about getting that throttle in. But right now you have Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, Clayton Montgomery, Tommy Ryan finds himself up in the P number 4, AJ Rodericks in 5th, Joey Cruz 19 spots up into 6th, Bronson Stafford, Dalton Drummonds, Andrew White, and Robert Kenny for your top 10. So mixing the field up just a little bit, these cautions do, you know, I mean, obviously drivers trying to take advantage of it now to hold on to it for the next 55 laps.
And really a good bit of shake-up here for a lot of these drivers. I mean, you mentioned Joey Cruz started back there in 25th, second last on the field, and up to 6th place right now. Dalton Drummonds started shotgun on the field, 26th, and he is up to 8th place. Robert Kenny started at 24th. He's up to the top 10. Davey Hendricks started at 23rd, he's up to the 11th spot. I mean, some big moves, some big shakeups here. Some guys kind of electing by themselves to go towards the back. I don't think I'd seen the 098 of Justin Munsell getting involved in anything other than that. Actually, he did get involved in a little mix-up there. And wasn't a caution with Josh Van Westen, as it looks like these drivers are coming in for a quick little pit stop here under the last lap of caution. But some of the other cars, like Shane Therian, deciding to once again top off and drop to the back of the field here with the 09. But once again, at the front, it is going to be Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia going to restart this thing. Nico Garcia got a nice new paint scheme on there. I do like that green and purple out there. That thing certainly sticks out nicely. And it will look nice in victory lane if he could finally put it there. He's certainly going to be looking to try and finally crack through and get a win here on the season. But it's going to be tough. I mean, Alan Elwood has just been dominant with 4. Actually, Nico Garcia does have 1 win on the season, but Elwood already with 4 wins on the season, already looking for a win number 5 before we even get to the playoffs. But he is the control car and going to bring him back to green. We'll head to the Geico restart zone one more time.
Green flag,
and the 5 is on the loud pedal. We're back to racing here at MIS.
And you talked about maybe the miscommunication from Tommy to you to run tonight, but these drivers are in for a treat because the 99 is no slouch, and I would not, expect anything less than the 99 to be up front and be fighting for a podium spot. So Clayton Montgomery, Nico Garcia, and even Alan Elwood, they might have their pull later in the races. He's very patient. This is one of the drivers that I know I've tried learning about how to run a full tank of fuel on the same set of tires and be fast.
Shout out once again as the college race ending there for the NASCAR College iRacing Series, and the drivers that have ran their races here in the Xfinity Series. James Seeley finishing in 23rd, and Tyler Skojan doing a very nice job coming up through the field at the end, finishing up there in 13th. So congrats to them out there for some good runs there at Charlotte. But we've got some good racing here, some tight racing side by side here. This is the battle for 6th and 7th position. Bronson Stafford on the outside, AJ Roderick on the inside. Haven't really had a long enough run to kind of see which lines really develop, but Jimmy, here at Michigan, it's wherever you want to run. It's wherever you feel comfortable with the car. I mean, sometimes you get in here, depending on the track temperature or the wear on the track. Sometimes it's the bottom line, sometimes it's the middle, sometimes it's the top, sometimes it's the bottom-ish middle. I mean, there's about 5, 6, 7 different lines that you can run here at Michigan, and you'll see the drivers kind of all over the place here running, and it's, again, we can't say it enough, and it's why I love it here. It's wide enough that there shouldn't be any issues, but you get a little bit feisty. You can kind of run the car a little bit harder than you typically do.
Yeah, I mean, that's, where it is, and it's just kind of where you feel comfortable. And, I talk about Michigan, and, it's obviously, a very happy driver out here doing ovals out here. Michigan obviously being over that 1 mile threshold. But Tater Bowman was one of the few drivers that I knew when I started, and, he was the one that taught me how to get around here at a decent clip. Obviously, you need more practice to knock off a lot of the rust that I've had for running ovals. But, Steve, we used to talk about, there used to be, and I don't know if it's still the same today, but all them seams, you can feel them just so minutely in your direct drives, and that is where some grip lies for some of the corners. So you might see some drivers, line up their tires just to catch that little bit of tire to get a little bit of grip to work their way around. But got to move here by this 61 of Bronson Stafford, making his way around Tommy Ryan right now. So Tommy Ryan falling down, kind of not back. He's laying back. I can guarantee too many races that I watch Tommy race and just kind of just chill. Like I don't know where you get the patience, Tommy. I really don't. But definitely some awesome driving. But right now, another guy doing an awesome job is the LO89 on Blake Erickson. We've seen him involved in there in an early incident, but working his way up there, trying to pull alongside 56 of AJ Roddick.
He started in 10th and was running 10th. Now he's running in 9th, but it certainly has been eventful. It wasn't just running in 10th and nothing happening this whole race. No. As he goes to the inside here of Dalton Drummond's, trying to move himself back up into 8th place. But the man's certainly on the move, up 21 spots and looking to make it 22. Joey Cruz from the back of the field and getting a little closer to Clayton Montgomery heading into the corner, trying to really open up that entry to make the pass, but Montgomery has been at the top of the standings for this entire season, and he's not exactly just going to pull over and let that 028 on by. And it's going to allow Bronson Stafford to close in a little bit as well. Taking a look back further in the field, we got almost a 3-wide battle here on the inside. It is Shane Therian right there in the 34. 034 there is Robert Kenny on the outside. Jeff Ryan almost went 3-wide to the top there and trying to mix it up with these boys, but Shane Therian is one that he was up there in the beginning. He qualified up there in that 3rd position, but he's been one that's really trying to pack that thing full of fuel as much as possible. Every caution coming in multiple times. So maybe playing the longer game, expecting one of these times that this is going to kind of run out a lot longer on green flag. And right now it's been, not going to want a pretty good run for these drivers, but I think with the way the weather is and the way the temperature is, and we'll take a look at the weather right now, it's quite cool right now. I mean, it's overcast out there. That can certainly lead to a little bit of a slipperiness on the track. The track temperature itself only 80 degrees. That's certainly a lot lower than some temperature that we've seen. So maybe just a little bit slick out there, and you never know when it just kind of reaches up and grabs you out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just heard over the radio. Somebody said that was a little slip, but so definitely some drivers out there starting to feel the effects of the older tires starting to kind of creep up on them, as we're on lap 25 to 70. Alan Elwood out front of Michigan Garcia, Clayton Montgomery, Joey Cruz, and then Blake Erickson just now taking P number 5. Then it's Bronson, Stafford, Tommy Ryan, Andrew White, Clayton Drummond, AJ Roderick for your top 10. Go back to the rest of the field. You'll have Shane Therian, Davey Hendricks, Jeff Ryan, Justin Kirby, Robert Kenny, Kevin Foster, Dan Phelps, Tyler Bramble, Joe Sullivan, and Jeremy Gainey for your top 20. Then Justin Munsell, Matt Crockett, John Crane, John Van Weston, Luis Orduna, and Peter Roman. So definitely a great group of drivers out here tonight. They had their bumps and bruises early on, but what's seeming to be like a long green flag run, where these drivers are going to run out of fuel, poses who and how are these drivers going to take their pit stops?
Yeah, I mean, certainly nobody is anywhere clear to get all the way down to the end. The latest, these drivers have been Shane Therian come back in there on lap number 15, so he'd have to run a good 55 laps. Hopefully that's not going to happen. And it's honestly it's kind of close in my opinion for them to make it on one stop from here if this thing does stay green. It's kind of right on that border where the last pit stops came in around lap 14, 15. So real interesting to see how this thing plays out. But man, we got battles all over the place, which is what Michigan is known for. But we'd love to see Jeff Ryan just kind of hanging back here watching these battles right here as he's watching Robert Kenny and Justin Kirby go out of here back for 14th and 13th. We're not too far in front of them. Still Shane Therian battling it with Dalton Drummond's, and he's got AJ Roddick right behind him. This is 9th, 10th, and 11th on the track. Up at the front, it's not exactly a walk away for Alan Elwood. He's got a battle and a new leader potentially here. Nico Garcia to the outside line, looking to try and get a run off the corner, maybe steal away the lead here from his teammate in the 5. It's still going to be Elwood at the line, only just by about a bumper, but Nico Garcia maybe looking to try and steal one away here and grab win number 2 before that 5 gets number 5.
Yeah, that high line, I think maybe starting to come in here just a little bit, or at least the tires are at that point where they want to run a little higher. So Nico Garcia finally makes it by the 5 of Alan Elwood, and the 089, and obviously Blake Erickson trying to work his way around the 5 as well. So, you know, maybe new tires for that 089. I don't know. Maybe he accidentally pulled some, pulled that tire string when they came in. But right now, it's looking to get by for P number 2 and does so. So move Blake Erickson in the 089 up in the P number 2, showing that he has some speed here right at this moment at Michigan.
You know, I mean, we kind of say that they've messed up and taken tires early because they only have a certain amount of tires in the pits. They only have 2 sets of tires in pit lane that they can take for the entire race. So you take 1 set early there on lap number 14. If it stays green the whole way, you technically really only need 1 more set of tires. So maybe that's what Erickson is playing right now. And it's good enough that it's got him into second and already up there battling with Nico Garcia for the lead of this race. So could be playing out pretty nicely here for the 089. Goes to the inside on the backstretch. It looks like maybe Garcia, a little bit of a slip up there on the exit. Elwood tries to help him out down the backstretch. But the new tires there for the 089 of Erickson gives him a little bit better grip on that inside, a little bit better drive. He can turn down off that corner. See the 5 trying to get up there, trying to help his teammate out. But new leader at Michigan, the 089 of Erickson.
I mean, even if Erickson has a little newer tires, and I think that might be the case, he still worked his way up the front and to grab a lap lead here. These drivers here at Xfinity, it's no feet, so good to see the 089 showing some speed, doing their thing. Having some drivers calling out some pit stops now, as you can see, Munsell down in the pits. Somebody else, I heard somebody else will be coming down the pits here shortly. But I heard over the radio about 5 or 6 laps remaining. So it's going to take us up to that, not quite the 40 lap mark. And I don't know if they can do 37 laps on a tank, Carl.
Now, that's why I said it's going to be close for them to make it on 2 more stops. 1 more stop, I don't think they really can. I think it's going to be a 2 pit stop race from here on out, which is going to be a little tough for Blake Erickson if you're taking tires on both of those. I think really realistically what he needs to do is, if I'm the crew chief, he already took a set of tires on this next pit stop. You got to take another set of tires. You got to blow through that other set of tires, and hopefully that last pit stop is far enough to the end that you've used those tires enough to give yourself a buffer and not take tires and try and run that thing out. But I mean, right now, strategy looks like it's working out pretty nicely. He's got a third of a second lead over the rest of the field, walking away here a little bit before the pit stops ensue for the top half of the field. Quite a few have come in already and made their pit stops, as we already seen. Bronson Stafford and Justin Kirby, Justin Munsell all in the pits. We've seen a couple more there coming back out of the pits, but at the front it is Erickson, Garcia, Elwood, Montgomery, Tommy Ryan for that top 5, Cruz, Therian, Roderick, Drummonds, and Hendricks for the top 10. But here comes your leader, Erickson, already going to be pulling off into pit lane. Looks like Cruz is going to follow behind. Robert Kenny also in.
Yeah, we are in the full-fledged round of pit stops. As I've heard about at least 3/4 of the field. You can see the difference in new tires here as a 43 comes up on the 5 of Alan Elwood. Is going to drive by almost like he's sitting still. So new tires, definitely a big momentum here as the 43 now back on the lead lap as everybody's getting around here. So
how about the move there by Elwood around the outside to go deeper into pit lane, as Nico Garcia being a little tentative. He's seen not only did he lose the position and some time to Alan Elwood on the entry, but you see Tommy Ryan right there gaining on him coming in as well. So if I'm Nico Garcia's crew chief, I think we got a little practice to do for next time when we come to Michigan, let alone for this next pit stop that he's going to come in. He's got to work on that and get some more speed coming in. But Blake Montgomery stays out. He's going to try and run a little bit longer. Probably going to be coming in the next lap or 2. Shane Therian still out there as well, but we know he's come in multiple times to try and top that thing off, but he is going to follow his teammates Montgomery into pit lane, Foster in, Sullivan in. Looking back here to see if Gaining, Gaining's going to come in here as well. It's going to cycle back out to Blake Erickson in the lead for the time being. Not for long. Bronson Stafford now makes the pass as Erickson decided not to go for tires that time by. So he's certainly going to be slipping back through the field here a little bit. Stafford has got some freshies on that 61, and he is going to be your new leader next time by as everybody gets back on the lead lap. You see it's a ton of time behind the leader there, but everything's going to cycle back through this time here as Montgomery in pit lane. They're going to come out, so it's going to be Stafford, Erickson, Kirby for your top three.
Yeah, Kirby, obviously making the choice to stay out there. I don't. I know the producer. I know he has new tires. He came in just a little bit early, so that undercut working in his favor at the moment. And anything can happen here. So some drivers are out there maybe hoping for a caution, and some are just hoping that it stays green. So what pit strategy is everybody on? That's kind of what they want to go on right now. And like you said, I think maybe we've crossed that hurdle here where the drivers kind of settling down trying to get a hold of the car, but see the 089 falling back quickly here as the 5 obviously on the new tires out there trying to work his way back to the front as he's going to have a little bit of time trying to catch up to some of the drivers in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's nice to have those breaks in the schedule for the drivers. It's nice to just have kind of one or two little breathers throughout the season to just kind of catch your breath, or maybe practice for a track that's coming up on the schedule, or maybe just straight up practice for the next track. But it also gives you an extra week to maybe have a little bit of angst and maybe have a little bit of want to get back out there and maybe just drive it a little bit too aggressively in the beginning, and maybe that's what we've seen from a couple of those early cautions here tonight. But since then, it's been lean and green, and we got some plenty of different leaders here. I think we've seen about 5 or 6 different leaders out here tonight. Right now, it is top 10, Bronson Stafford, Justin Kirby, Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, Tommy Ryan, Clayton Montgomery, Blake Erickson, AJ Roderick, Shane Therian, Robert Kenny, and Jimmy. We're past the halfway point already. I think it's time to crank these boys up and give everyone out there at Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here of the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs, as a nice little green flag run that we're in here, which is good for a lot of these drivers, but not so much for the ones that took the shortcut. We've seen Bronson Stafford, Justin Kirby were out front, the top two, but now they have shuffled back to 6th and 7th as your leader once again. Alan Elwood at the front, Nico Garcia, Clayton Montgomery, Tommy Ryan, and Shane Therian for your top 5. We got Stafford, Kirby, Roderick, Kenny, and Hendricks for the top 10. But looks like we got a new second place driver already. Clayton Montgomery moving around the 88 here of Garcia, taking over a second place and trying to do what he can. I mean, again, he comes in here 41 points behind Alan Elwood, who, Montgomery hasn't exactly put a foot wrong this season. I mean, I feel like he's gotten a podium in pretty much every single race that he's been in this season. I mean, he's got 8 top 5s out of the 10 races, but when your teammate Alan Elwood, the 5 is out front, and he's got 7 out of 8 top 5s, and 4 of them being wins, it's tough to have the points lead, and that's why you see him 41 points back right now, and already looking at the back of the number 5 once again. So I'm sure you'd love to get up there and maybe take another win away and try and get win number 2 here on the season. But we are starting to click away on the laps as we're down to 20 laps to go. It'll be 19 here at the line. Still looking at one more pit stop before this thing is over. Who's got tires left? Who is going to take 2? Who's going to take 4? Who doesn't have any left? Who has tires and wants to maybe save them for a potential late caution? We're about to find out, as we already have our first taker in the pit lane. Stafford brings the 61 in. Looks like Munsell is going to come in here as well. So the last potential round of pit stops are underway.
And I think it was a good call there by Stafford. He was able to make that short pit work and was able to get some laps led. They're down into that, 18 laps. So, these drivers that are on the newer tires, I know they're, to think about making sure they have enough fuel. And if what tires are going to take, I have seen 2 tires work here in the past, Carl, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody drops no fuel in 2 tires and tries a huge undercut. But we'll see. Justin Kirby now in the pits as well, along with Jeff Ryan. So pit stops starting now. Those taking the undercut try to maybe squeak some positions out here late as we finish up here at Michigan.
I want to thank everyone out there once again for tuning in. Just noticing right now that we may have had some audio issues. So Kelly, if we're still having any kind of issues out there audio-wise, let us know what it is, and we'll try and fix it. If it's one of us are too low or too high, or maybe the car's too high, just let us know. We'll try and fix it on our end here. But showing you one of the fan favorites here, and one of the other ones that we haven't seen in the booth for too long, but I'm sure we'll get him back up there sooner than later. That being Kevin Foster in the 8, and then the 76 of Joe Sullivan doing a little bit of battling as this is back here currently for 8th and 9th position, as we got a couple more in the pits. Robert Kenny, Blake Erickson, Joey Cruz into pit lane. Justin Kirby has also come into pit lane, but right now your top 13 still looking to come in. Looks like Tommy Ryan now going to be the next one in, bringing the 99 in for what should be the final pit stop for him for this race. But once again, all chasing number 5 of Alan Elwood, but Clayton Montgomery has been just eking a little bit closer lap after lap. He's got 1 lap newer tires, which shouldn't be much, isn't that much, but it is. I mean, every little bit counts here. I mean, you've seen with Bronson Stafford and Justin Kirby earlier, they were able to use a short pit and get out there into a nice lead and get out there and try and stretch out as much as possible. And how about stretching it into pit lane? Not sure if Montgomery got it down enough or not. If he did, that was one heck of an entry by the 7, and going to gain a ton of time on his teammate right there as they've come in. Nico Garcia in, as is Roderick, Hendricks, and Phelps. It's going to give the lead to the man that I feel just deserves a win, maybe as much, if not more, than a lot of the field out here, and that being Shane Therian. Still looking for his first win of the season. We've seen him be very good at these last couple races and just kind of bad luck when it comes to cautions or the strategy, whatever it is. But he's going to bring the 9 in here from the lead. We'll see where he shakes out when he comes back out onto the track, as he's now going to give the lead over. Looks like it's actually going to complete the cycle as Foster and Sullivan also going to come into the pits.
Oh, Foster got nagged on a speeding penalty.
Yeah, you hear it right there. Is we got one penalty. Trying to look and see if we had any other penalties. Somehow, the 7 did not get penalized right there. But unfortunately, a little bit longer of a stop there compared to some of the other drivers. Nico Garcia led the crew out there from the pits, but because it's a different strategy, the 88 taking a little bit different strategy here, trying to shake things up. He's got the lead over Alan Elwood right now, but Jimmy at the front with about 15 laps to go. 99 of Tommy Ryan.
I'm not shocked. I'm just not. Tommy is, like I said, he's one of those drivers. I think it's been 2 years ago now. I just remember out on the track, watching him come through the field. I'm like, watch that 99 car. Just watch him. And sure, by the end, he just methodically worked his way out front and out to a pretty nice lead at the moment as well. Out there to a second and a half, and looks to be gaining over Stafford. So Stafford falling back, and then Nico Garcia there in third, and then Alan Elwood and Montgomery. Now there is time. There is still 12 laps remaining here. We're coming down to the end, and Tommy finding himself in basically a showing here, and he didn't ruin anybody's race except maybe take away a podium.
Not yet, at least. Still time. There's still time. And Jeff Ryan running back there in 14.
Hold true to his words, Carl. Hold true to his words.
Exactly. Well, right now, Nico Garcia has got to dispatch Bronson Stafford as quick as possible. Not just for a chance to try and run down Tommy Ryan, but he's got his teammate Alan Elwood right behind him. Elwood's got 4 fresh tires. Garcia only 2. So right here, this is a big pass he's got to make quickly. Stafford has got some older tires here. Pit on lap number 51. Nico Garcia and Alan Elwood pit on 55, with Tommy Ryan pitting on lap 54 as a bit of a bobble from both of them there. Is going to bring the 5 right up into play. Side by side now for second place, as Elwood looks to go from 4th to 2nd on the front stretch, and he's going to do it heading into 1. But they have got 2.1 seconds they have to gain within 11 laps. We are down to 10 laps to go at the line.
And that's a lot to make up on the 99. In 99, if you catch him, and he's especially, he's not going to put up a. He's not going to give it to you, but he's definitely not one to drive dirty at all. So probably one of the cleanest drivers I've seen on the track out there for a lot of series. But anyway, Tommy will be in the lead right now over Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, Stafford, and in theory they're back in P5. Montgomery slides back to 6th, even though he got away with that crazy pit stop. Justin Kirby's sitting in 7th as the top silver driver. Stafford is your top gold driver in P5, and see Cruz in 10th for your bronze.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Alan Elwood not just going to let Tommy Ryan come in here and steal the thunder for sure. Already cut off 0.4 of a second on that last lap, running at 38.74, just shy of his fast lap of the race, with Tommy running at 39.1, but even out a little bit on that lap right there. Only 0.2 of a second faster was Alan Elwood, but that does bring the margin down to 1.6 with 9 laps to go here in Michigan. That is a long 18 miles for Tommy Ryan to drive to try and get this thing done. But if there's anyone that can do it, we've certainly seen that. Number 99 have plenty of success over at UCRL. He's got to keep those tires underneath. And you see these drivers maybe starting to press a little bit, maybe just trying to find some extra speed. But I've seen quite a few cars. He's getting a little bit touchy, a little bit loose coming out of 3 and 4 right there. And I mean, all it takes is one little slip up from somebody to bring out a late race caution here. I'll knock on wood for everybody out there that's hoping this thing goes green. But right now, Tommy Ryan's lead down to 1.1 seconds Alan Elwood digging as much as he can to get up there to try and win race number 5 here on the season. Shane Therian not too far behind, and he's got 1 lap newer tires as well. He is looking desperately, and I know we try and stay impartial here in the booth, but I'll be damned if Shane Therian, again, doesn't get my vote out of these top 3 to try and grab the win here tonight. And he's not out of it. He is running just as fast, and actually faster than these top 3 right now. We'll try and bring up the last lap for these top 3. And there you go, you see it. Shane Therian running the fastest laps over the last 5 laps there. Very, very quick, running these boys down, and we could be possibly 3 wide for the lead here pretty soon as these laps take down. It's 6 laps to go at the line.
Well, I mean, one thing with Tommy coming in here, I mean, Alan's, obviously has had his hands full with Therian and Montgomery, and just to add another driver to the mix that he needed to possibly work a little bit harder, because the skill level of these drivers is high, with especially these top 5, and just to throw in the mix another good driver, it's good for the racing community, and I'm sure it's put a little spark underneath number 5, like, hey, who's this guy? And who do you think you are trying to take my race away? So, but right now that gap is closed down to .2, as maybe a 2-tire stop there for Tommy trying to make this thing work. It's going to net that 99, a good finish here tonight, but how good will be depending on these next few laps.
Yeah, there is no gap anymore as Elwood right to the back of the 99 coming out of the corner. He's going to be able to turn down a little bit earlier than Tommy Ryan. He's got 1 lap newer tires. He gets the 5 to the inside, and kind of the same thing as Nico Garcia earlier. Elwood's going to have to work around Ryan as quick as possible. Looks like he's going to be able to do that because Shane Therian, by the way, knock knock, I'm here, and it is side by side already as Shane Therian goes to the inside of Ryan. A little bit of side drafting on the front stretch. He wants to stay close to these guys because he can go right to the inside of Elwood, and that's exactly what he's going to look to do, but a little bit of a bobble there from Therian heading into turn number 1. And we've got a heck of a battle on our hands right now, folks, as Elwood is in the lead. He's been the dominant car all night, but we've seen it before where Shane Therian's been the dominant car all night, and he's had to play second fiddle to Elwood. Therian dives it down deep into turn number 3. Slide job at Michigan. Pulled off beautifully. Put the 9 of Therian to the lead.
This is what the 9 wanted, and it's been wanting probably for quite a few races so far this season. But put that Jolly Roger machine out front in front of the 5, trying to now have to try to separate himself as Alan Elwood will not look back. 99 lurking in the shadows there, looking to see if these 2 drivers will maybe entangle themselves and give them the opportunity to basically rob the 2 drivers for a win. But has a nice little lead still over Clayton Montgomery back there in P number 4. Nico Garcia's in 5th. Bronson, Stafford, Justin Kirby, AJ Roderick, Davey Hendricks up there in P number 9, and Joey Hughes in P number 10.
2 laps to go as Therian stretches out his lead a little bit, 0.3 of a second over Elwood. As we got a battle back here in the back half of the top 10. This is the battle for 7th and 8th between Kirby on the outside, AJ Roderick on the inside, and Davey Hendricks trying to get up here in the mix as well in the 67. And they're going to have to figure this out pretty soon because we are winding down. We're about 3 miles left in this race. Shane Therian enters turn number 3. He's got almost a 0.4 of a second lead. Finally, it looks like the strategy may be paying off in the right way for the 9. He's come in a few times under caution, extra time to get some more fuel into that car. Hasn't really done much in regards to stretching that thing out at all, but it's got him to lead one way or another at the white flag. We got 1 more lap to go. He's got less than 2 miles to go now to claim his first win on the season. He's got the nickname of Shane Powerhouse Therian in the Discord chat here because he seems like no matter how good he does on the night, he can never get the Powerhouse performer for being the driver that kind of did the best out of everybody for the race. But I don't think it's going to matter here tonight whether he's Powerhouse or not. The 9 of Therian with everything that Elwood could throw at him, doesn't matter. The 9 Ethereum is your winner here at Michigan.
Great job by Shane Ethereum bringing on the win here over Alan Elwood, and Tommy Ryan coming here with a P number 3. Clayton Montgomery and 4th. Nico Garcia will finish in 5th. Then Stafford, Roderick, Hendricks, Kirby, Sullivan, Munsell, Cruz, Kenny, Phelps, Ryan for your top 15. And then right now, a few drivers still finishing up. Bramble will come in 16th. Erickson will finish in 17th after having a few laps led here. Then White will be in 18th. Matt Crockett looks to finish in 19th. Then Foster, unfortunately, getting snagged by that speeding in the pits on entry. Then Crane, Gainey, Arduna, Van Weston, Drummonds, Bowman for your 26th driver field here tonight at Michigan. It started off rough, Carl, but these drivers sure did figure it out here at the end with a great run by some of these drivers. And obviously a big shout out to the number 9, Shane Therian, for finally making something work. And if I'm Shane, I'm probably one, a happy camper here winning at Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to burn it down here on the infield, and certainly well deserved. It's about that time, I think, is probably what he's saying right now, what he's thinking, and certainly well deserved for the win. And he had to work for it. This was not gifted to him at all, as he really did everything that he could. Had the strategy perfect. He got one extra lap out of those previous tires, and it was enough to give him just that little bit of edge when he got to Alan Elwood. Luckily for Elwood, or luckily for him, Elwood had to battle Tommy Ryan and get around him before this thing was over. And maybe that was that little bit extra edge that he needed to get right there to Alan Elwood when he had those, maybe a little bit warmer tires. Got it done here tonight. Heck of a run, and love to see it for him, and love to see it for everybody out there. It was a heck of a good race. Yeah, like you said, we had a couple little bumps and bruises, a little, welcome back to the series. Everybody, kind of strapping those belts down one more time and getting back out there. But this was a heck of a way to lead us into the gauntlet. We'll get into that here again a little bit later, as it is going to be quite interesting after Michigan here tonight. But let's go ahead and try and get these guys into the broadcast waiting room and get their interviews here. But Jimmy, Michigan just never freaking disappoints. It's so great. I love it.
It does not. And every time we come here, whether it's a late race incident, just an all green flag at the end, the ending is always great. Whether it's for the lead or second or third, heck, even middle pack. We were talking about some of these drivers, and we talked about the top 3. So congratulations to those 3. But you can't count out, like, right now, AJ Roderick, top silver driver in P number 7. And then actually, AJ's moved up, didn't he? I think I might maybe my
yeah. AJ finished in 7th. AJ
yeah,
Roderick.
Justin Kirby. Yeah, Justin Kirby finishing up there as well too for the silver. So I congratulate those drivers as well, where they're battling within their divisions. So. Branson Stafford there for the top gold driver, Justin Kirby for your top silver driver, and then Joey Cruz for your top driver and 12th. Obviously, Joey has had to overcome a lot of obstacles in the past week, and he's been doing it with grace. Maybe not as willing as he wants to, but has taken it with stride and humbled himself, and found himself finishing in some good spots, and probably in that points battle there for that bronze series. So just a shout out to all the drivers for doing what they do out here, having fun. I've heard a lot of drivers making apologies really quick and early on, and that's what drivers like to they hear over the radio. And obviously nobody wants to get wrecked, but at least somebody's apologizing, even if it's somebody saying I ran out of talent, which I giggled. I won't lie, I giggled because you say it a lot, like, oh, I just ran out of talent. So basically, Core's motto, sucks to suck. But definitely want to give a huge shout out to all the viewers out there. I think I seen 26 or 27 people watching. So me and Carl would not do this if it wasn't for all the fans out there. Obviously, we like to put the drivers on showcase for everybody, and it's great to have friends and family and CRN Nation come together and definitely support. So if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. It helps the algorithm doesn't benefit us in any way, shape, or form, except put the league and the drivers in the limelight and get the algorithm out there. So if somebody's just browsing, they might just pop in and watch us here at CRN and see what's going on. So really appreciate that. If you could do that, just hit that thumbs up. Really help us out here just a little bit. And yeah, that's about it, Carl. I'm just waiting to get to hear from these drivers and see how their race went for them.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hear from them right now. As first one we'll bring in is that Amanda came in here and, well, trying to ruin things one way or another, and he ruined the podium here for at least that one driver. But a heck of a run. Tommy, welcome back to racing here in Core. I know we've seen you here and there dabble a little bit, and we've seen you plenty over at UCRL when we covered those guys. But you come in here for maybe a one-off, hopefully not just a one-off, and we'll see a little bit here more often as you took it to these guys and you made them run and you made them work for it. Certainly at the end, just come up short here, but got to feel pretty good here coming out with a podium.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I thought I was going to be okay because I had clean air, and I know those guys really charged Alan and Shane, and I didn't know if they were going to have anything when they got to me, but boy, was that full.
They did. Spoiler alert. Yeah. But
yeah,
Hello.
I mean, I ran as pretty much as hard as I could without tearing the car up. But yeah, they just blew my doors off there, and then kind of got, right there in front of me, and then just kind of maintained from there. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. I plan on being back next week. Looking for something to do on Tuesday night, so this is probably going to be it.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll definitely welcome you in here, and I'm sure these drivers, one way or another, whether they like to see in here or not, it's going to add another name to the top of the list, so we like to see it. But I mean, it's kind of amazing that a track as big as this, 2 miles, you don't think tires would really play that big of a part, but I mean, that's really the only thing I could separate between you, Elwood, and Therian there at the end. Elwood having 1 lap newer tires, Therian having 2 lap newer tires. I mean, was that really kind of the difference here in the end?
Yeah, I mean, with this tire model, if you can run an extra lap or 2 laps, like Shane did, I mean, it's in reality, it's like 5 to 7 laps, is what it feels like once you catch somebody on an older tire. Never could figure that out. But then sometimes I've seen guys do that and it works out for them. But more than not, it's, if you can wait a little bit longer. I just knew that if I could pit with about 16 to go, then I could get the most out of the tire, what I thought. But yeah, I probably should have just stayed with those guys and just tried to stay with them. But even on that one green flag run, Alan exited the pit and I went into turn 3 and about lost it, and he just drove away. I mean, he was glued. He had his car was handling really well on cold tires, and I was wrecking. And so he got way out there.
It seemed like coming out of turn number 4, especially later in the run when the tires kind of wearing a little bit, it was just a little slick. We've seen a couple of cars dancing off the corner coming on the trial with there. Did you? It seemed like you experienced it maybe once or twice there. Was that kind of the trouble spot?
Yeah, I mean, the car had a lot of grip, but what you would end up doing is really heating up that right rear or left rear, whichever one was starting to slip. And the more you abused it, the worse it got. So I was really abusing it for the last, 7 laps. So I was getting very free off the corners. But yeah, like you saw, it was more prominent off 4 than it was 2.
All right, buddy. Well, once again, welcome back to the series. Hopefully, we do see you out there a little bit more. I know Jimmy was happy and got to see that 99 out there running for another win out here. You get a podium here, 3rd place. So we'll let you get some time and give any shout outs or thanks that you may have.
Yeah, thanks to Trevor for turning me back onto this tonight, and my other teammates, Jeff, and got another guy that's probably showing up. JP Phillips will be probably around here in the next week or two. So yeah.
getting the crew back together. I like to see it. Well, they're certainly more than welcome, and you can see there's some pretty good talent that they're going to be going up against here. It's not going to be any kind of a walk in the park for sure. You got some talent in this series. So congrats on the podium here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and hopefully we see you next week.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I liked what I saw out there tonight. It's a lot of respect and clean, hard racing and competitions up there. So that's what I'm looking for. I don't enjoy them winning every week, but it sure is fun trying.
Absolutely, buddy. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 99 of Tommy Ryan. Second place here tonight, the winningest driver this season, but he couldn't quite get it done here tonight. It's going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood.
Hey, Alan, Jimmy, and Carl on the boots. Do you copy, buddy?
Yeah, I get you.
Definitely had your hands full tonight. A dominant performance here as you're one of the faster cars, but I think Shane kind of out-tired you right there at the end and seemed to have just a little bit more grip and was able to get around you for those final laps. But still, just an awesome performance. And just kind of give us a rundown of how your race was. You know, obviously a couple new faces on the track that you got to drive around here tonight.
Yeah, I feel like it was one of my best performances. I know I led a decent amount of laps and stuff, but it didn't feel like my strongest race overall, and that kind of showed there on that long run there at the end. I feel like I could have done a better job at the start of the run trying to save some tire. Had I known that Shane was going to be that much quicker there at the end of the race, I would have tried to save a little bit more tire to try to hold him off, or at least slow him down a little bit more. But it is what it is. I mean, you run out front and stuff like that, and use up a little bit more fuel, and then guys in the back. I was talking to Shane about it before I got in here, and him kind of being in the back of the field, working his way up through. He had a little bit more draft and was able to kind of save a little bit and make it an extra lap or so on fuel, and that was the difference with the tires. So all in all, not a bad race. Happy for Shane. It's been a long time coming for him to get a win. So notch another one for the team as far as getting people victories. So happy on that. And 4 out of the top 5 tonight, I believe, in the overall result for the team as well. So really strong night for EDE.
Yeah, definitely always a strong showing by EDE, and obviously everybody repping the awesome paint jobs that you guys provide and whatnot. But the driving up front is respectful, and even from somebody, obviously the third place winner, Tommy, just impressed and was happy to see a challenge out there, clean driving, and that just a tribute to that yourself and your teammates. So and plus everybody else out on the track. So. Again, from up here in the booth, we want to say congratulations on the great finish. Maybe not that winning podium here tonight. I'm sure we will be just a matter of time before we catch you back up there on the podium. But we want to say congratulations and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 5.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And with Tommy, I've raced him plenty before, and Tommy's a great guy. He's a really clean competitor. He's really fast. So it's nice to see him out on track, and hopefully we'll see him more as the season goes on and into the future. So glad to have him out here. Yeah, again, touching on the team, really hats off to everybody on the team tonight for some great racing, good runs, and Shane for the win, and everybody at SimRap, Roderick Racing Development, VRS, everybody, partners for the team, that makes it happen for us, everybody watching it at home. With you guys up here in the broadcast booth, putting on a great show for everybody to watch, and of course everybody here in the league, a really good race tonight, I feel, and yeah, we'll take a second for sure.
Well, again, congratulations and thanks for all the shout outs, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Winner here tonight is gonna be the 09 of Shane Therian. And Shane, a couple weeks ago, well, I guess 3 weeks ago at this point, it looked like you had the winning car, Phoenix. You had to play third fiddle there and watch Alan Elwood go to the win. Last week, you led some, or a couple weeks ago, you led some laps out at Vegas, and it looked like you had maybe a chance there once again. But here you come to Michigan. Didn't really see you much of the race. You decided to kind of play the fuel game a couple times, go down extra times under the cautions, and really that one extra lap of stretching it out here tonight gets you the win. And I feel like it's kind of same thing as last season. So I'll say the same thing. It's about damn time.
How about that one? my God, I didn't say a word for like 40 laps in my Discord. I was just focused. I figured something out after that first green flag pit stop, or actually right before it, and then I slid my tires. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, well. So I just did the same thing, drove them all back down. But man, I don't think I've ever had such a fast, consistent drive in recent memory. It feels damn good.
And it couldn't have been easy. I mean, well, I guess in a way it was kind of nice with you coming down, taking those extra pit stops to kind of fall back in the field because you had what Alan Elwood was talking about and the fact of plenty of cars to kind of draft and help you save that little bit of fuel. But it just amazes me. I was talking to Tommy about it that you only had 1 lap newer tires than Alan Elwood and only 2 lap newer tires than Tommy Ryan. But man, that paid such a huge dividend at the end.
Yeah, I think it was that, and I think it was because I was the only one running the bottom in 3 and 4. I don't think I saw anybody else doing it, and I wasn't sliding the rears because of it. Unlike the guys at the top or middle, they were always getting loose. I didn't get loose, so last time I ran Michigan was the next gen cars. I knew setting it onto the bottom in 3 and 4 and going up the track it would save the rears, and I just kind of drove it like the next gen car, and it really, really paid off.
Oh, it certainly did, and yeah, it did seem like the middle lane was kind of the predominant lane, especially through 3 and 4, like you mentioned here tonight, and did see a lot of cars getting a little bit wobbly coming off the corner, especially later in the runs. But man, heck of a run up through there. Do you feel like between those new tires and everything, but mainly the fact that Alan Elwood had to kind of work around Tommy Ryan there right at the end, do you think that helped out a little bit to maybe heat up his tires and give you that extra little bit opportunity to get by quickly?
I mean, yeah, it definitely helped a little bit. But I mean, even when we were on equal tires on that very first green flag run before we pit the first time and I started in the back, I drove all the way up into the top 10. It was lapping faster than everyone, even on equal tires, doing what I was doing. So I'm not going to say the 1 lap helped. It definitely did help, like to be able to pass Alan as fast as I did. But I definitely think that if I was just on the same strategy, I think I just had outright better pace than everyone tonight, and it's weird to confidently say that, but and
it finally pays off too, because we've heard you say that before, especially at Phoenix, and here you finally get to pay it off with a win. So it's got to feel doubly as good. Because
how dare you pat your back?
it sucks when there's times like this where you feel like you have the fastest car and it doesn't pay off, but it just feels so much better that you're kind of vindicated yourself here with the win here tonight.
Yeah, and I did it with Alan in the field this time, so
exactly.
it feels like I earned it a little more. Now I gotta do it whenever James Coyle comes back in. Whenever he comes back, I don't know where he's been, but
oh no, he was at
a lot better too.
He was at the college that NASCAR college race tonight, because I did mention that a couple times and finished P23 over there. But either way, you got it done with some very, very heavy hitters. I mean, not just Alan there at the end, but Tommy Ryan certainly not a slouch. You had Nico was up there trying some different strategy, but maybe a good time to get the win, because it does not get any easier before you head to the playoffs. You guys got Darlington, Bristol, Rockingham, and Talladega for these next 4 races. I mean, what's the outlook? Do we need to let you maybe vomit a little bit first before we talk about these races? Because it is not going to be easy.
Well, I have just my personal opinion. I think I have a good shot at going back-to-back wins next week. Darlington is statistically, in my entire iRacing career, one of my best tracks ever. And I've beaten all these guys straight up there probably numerous times. So I generally feel confident going in there. But it also depends on caution, strategy, all that stuff. But Bristol, that one's been a thorn in my it's been a thorn in my body for years.
Gotcha.
I think I finished second there like 20 something times in my life. I have 1 win at that track. It's either second or I crash. So, and then Rockingham, I don't know, it's a hit or miss. I mean, all these tracks coming up, I don't really have a problem with. It just really depends on how the race plays out. And I think the only one we're really going to see a problem with is Bristol. Unfortunate, because with green flag racing, that can be super fun.
And Talladega obviously is kind of the wild card and the last race before the playoffs kick in, so that'll certainly be a good one there as well. But we'll see if you can get that 09 back to victory lane and right away next week. It was certainly a well-earned and well-deserved one here tonight, so take some time and at least celebrate this one and make sure you let your teammates, including Alan, know who the top dog is this week and who had the best car. So before we let you go and get out of here, who you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to?
I'm just going to give a shout out to my team. I mean, if it weren't for like the Elwood guys, I wouldn't be racing and enjoying myself as I have in recent memory. It's been nice to love the sim again, because I had a moment where I wasn't having fun on this, and then they kind of just took me in, dragged me along, and it's been great. And shout out to the Sky Motorsports guys, who I spent majority of my iRacing career with. I still race with them, still talk to them every day. I think Betts Bronson, Kenny, Justin, then you guys for broadcasting. I'm gonna go back and watch those last few laps. I'm curious to see how fast I was catching them. It felt like it was fast, but I want to see actually what it looked like on the broadcast.
Absolutely. Well, it was fun to watch, and certainly good to see you get that Jolly Rogers 09 back into to victory lane. So congrats again on the win. We'll see you next week, and maybe we can go back to back at Darlington.
Go Navy on the Chiefs' birthday, baby.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I did not forget.
It's probably why I won.
A little bit Chief luck in there.
That is,
thank you guys.
That is your winner here tonight, the 09 of Shane Therian, getting it done for his first win on the season. We'll grab one more here for an interview, and it's going to be the 61 here of Bronson Stafford. And Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our highest finishing gold driver here tonight?
Hey, Bronson, that's Jimmy or Carlton, the booth copy.
Hi.
Hey, welcome to the booth, and congratulations on being the top gold driver finisher here tonight. Definitely an interesting race here. A couple times where you find yourself the newer tires driving the car through the field and getting you out front. So give us a little rundown of how your race was, and what maybe you could have done different to maybe finish up here on the podium.
Yeah, just had to try something. Was so far back from just getting through traffic because I cannot qualify for the life of me in any stock car anymore. So by the time we even got up to like 6th, 7th, top 5, we were already 3 to 5 seconds behind. So just had to do something different. You're not going to catch Alan and Nico and them doing the same thing every stop. Didn't quite work out, but we tried. So almost we were gonna steal top 5 with it. So we finished better than we started.
Yeah, it's always good to finish better than when you start, and maybe there's some tips and tricks somewhere in there you can latch in, watch some of these qualifying laps, or maybe some of those lines some of these drivers are taking. But you're off to basically a gauntlet of interesting races coming up. Is there any track in particular you're looking forward to? Because I believe Darlington is the next one up.
I was looking forward to tonight. I like Michigan. Didn't expect it to be so overcast and grippy. Usually used to it very hot and slick, so it was an interesting change. Darlington's fun. Just kind of hard to pass, and qualifying is so important there, and that's where I struggle. So we'll see. I'm usually okay there on long run, but I don't know. It's so different. It's been so long now. I think we go to Bristol after that, and I love Bristol, so that could be fun. But otherwise, I don't know. The schedule in general is pretty good, so every week's kind of. It's been looking forward to running more or less since it's been a fun season so far.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to know that maybe the track isn't so bad. And I don't know if you partook in last week's fiasco and officials at Martinsville.
Man,
we apologize to the viewers.
I haven't ran officials in years, man. I only do leagues and the endurance events.
I don't do short tracks, period, and I haven't ran ovals for a while. And for something came over me and said, "Hey, let's go out and do an official and do an oval," and it just happened to be Martinsville. So I mean, I did it. I finished 7th, but it was gross.
No more day drinking, Jimmy. No more day drinking.
I won't do that.
But obviously, look forward to seeing the 61 out there up front more often. You're doing a great job, and I think obviously I think you'll figure it out eventually on how to get that thing qualified. Maybe just a tad
I've
bit
never
better.
been good, man. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I've never been good at qualifying.
I'm willing it to you.
Oh, maybe we'll see.
We're gonna push that 61 up to the
Yeah,
front.
we'll see what happens.
Those top 5 or 6 in front of you will hit the wall on qualifying.
Yeah,
Anything we can do.
That's what it'll take.
61 to get up, up there in the top row. But yeah, great finish, man. Great run. It's good seeing you out there, and it's good to hear people that have been around a long time still having fun out there as well. So, but we want to say congratulations on basically a victory here for the gold division, and give you some time for any shouts you may have in at number 61.
Yeah, just the whole team, myself, Justin, and Robert Kenny. It's our first season running. We've had some good races, some bad races, but I think it's been fun overall. And obviously, Shane, Alan, and all them with Elwood. We've all raced together for years now, and Shane was the one that was like, "Hey, come check out Core." We were running another league previously, and it was like, "This is a little more chill," and it was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like why not?" And it's been fun. So excited for Thursday to get going, and GT cars. I should have a new one for it, so that should be fun. And yeah, just you guys doing broadcast work and stuff. It's always cool when leagues actually have it, especially for all of their series. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, we kind of jumped on that bandwagon to do it ourselves, as being dependent on each other.
Yeah, it got easier.
But yeah, we want to say congratulations, man. We appreciate the shout outs, and we're glad that everybody's here. So again, congratulations on that finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys.
That is your 6th place finisher, highest finishing gold division driver here tonight. The 61 of Bronson Stafford, and well, I guess we should say highest driver north of the border as well, only Canadian in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So give him that title as well. A heck of a ride there, and we definitely see some differing strategies here tonight. But really, it just tires were absolutely the main thing that came into play here. The short pitting certainly shook up the field quite a few times, and we've seen a lot of drivers different at the front of the field because of the short pitting. We did see Stafford up there. We've seen Justin Kirby up there as well with the short pitting. But in the end, it was Shane Therian with the later pit stop there, 1 lap later than Elwood, 2 laps later than Tommy Ryan to get the win here tonight. Once again, the gauntlet is upon us, and it is the gauntlet that they're going to have to run through the last 4 races of the regular season, and what's going to decide possibly drivers making the playoffs or missing it, as we've got Darlington coming up next week, which arguably could be the easiest one on the schedule, and it is the Lady in Black. It is a tough, about 1 1/3 mile oval out there, and it's 1.5 lanes maybe at best, but you're going to see them go too wide, and you're going to see passing happen for sure at Darlington. Then you got Bristol, which it's the last great Coliseum. I mean, it's enough said right there. It is where gladiators go, and you're going to see probably a few fenders laying on the track, let alone at Rockingham. Rockingham may straight up shake some fenders off of the cars. It is rough and bumpy and a tough little track there in North Carolina before we head to the big one, Talladega, and that's exactly what we'll be looking for. Is if the big one, when and will it happen, and who's going to be involved. So it's been a heck of a nice run here for the first 11 races, but it's going to get fun. It's going to get fun for us up here in the booth. Not so much for these drivers out here on the track. So we'll see how it plays out. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank our sponsor, Elwood Designs. They've been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012. Specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles, they can offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base design, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simrapmarket.com. You can find Elwood Designs online on Facebook or X. Well, that is going to do it for myself and Jimmy from a place that we love, the Michigan International Speedway. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you at the track.
Peace.